Hello everyone, this is Louis Monzon with IT News Africa, and today we're going to be talking to Harish Lala, who is the Senior Vice President and Head of Africa for Zensar. In this conversation, we broach a few topics, namely digital transformation and customer experience. Hope you enjoy. What is digital transformation and why is it so important for South Africa and Africa at large?
Sure, Louis. Thanks a lot. Now, yeah, the first question that you said, yeah, it's a very interesting topic in a sense that everybody has a different interpretation of what they mean by digital transformation. Now, the way I look at it is basically it's all the new technologies which are available and how do we leverage those technology to create new business models and prepare a business for the future. Basically, what we are doing is future proofing our business models. And it's not about just moving our digital services to online space. It is about end-to-end transformation. If we are talking about digital transformation, it is basically transforming our existing business model, future-proofing it, and leveraging these technologies to bring the transformation right from your front end, how you reach out to your customers, how you retain service, sell to your customers, to focusing on your supply chain, get onto the back-end systems, get onto your HR, your finance. So it is actually a transformation at multiple layers within the organization. And these technologies are available today, and they are very cost effective. So how do we leverage them to bring this agility in our model and prepare it for future? I believe that's what digital transformation is.
And why do you think it's so important for South Africa and Africa to have companies that are looking into digital transformation? And as you said, companies try to future-proof themselves. Why do you think this is important?
And the reason why I feel it's important, especially in the context currently in South Africa, because the environment around us, the consumers around us, our customers are changing rapidly. They are leveraging these technologies in their personal life much more than what businesses are able to offer them as them being their customers. So it's the consumer itself which is changing. And obviously our competition, if not in South Africa, the global competition, they are all attracting the very same customer by actually going closer to the customer, understanding their customer better, offering them choices, offering them options. And as businesses, if we are not able to offer those options to these changed customer, their changed mindset, their changed needs and demands, we will be left behind. We will not be able to win the race in terms of our objectives and the goals. So it's all the more important that we are at the forefront, especially when the technologies and options are available for businesses to do that. So it's basically consumer, which is the center of everything, and which is where this whole force of transformation is rising from. And most of the businesses are aligning to offer the best of these capabilities to their businesses, to their customers, and getting closer to them. And when you talk about South Africa, I think going through the lean economic phase for the last few years, the way we are seeing, acquiring customer, retaining customer, giving them the best of the experience, servicing them better, has become all the more important given the situations that we have. And in that light, some of these technologies which are available at our disposal, which will aid us to do that, have become all the more important.
So Harish, last time we spoke, you told me that Zensar had managed to 100% completely digitize its business. So I want to ask you more about that, but I want to first find out, because I had this question in my mind when you told that to me. What are the key perspectives or the kind of mindset that a business leader needs to have in order to have their company undergo this transformation quickly and efficiently and successfully as well?
Sure. I think it's a nice, very good question, actually. The way we looked at digital transformation, that it's not about big transformation projects, long projects in terms of bringing those change. Yes, you have your existing business model. Most of the organizations have their own legacy platforms, which they have built over the years and which have been doing well, which have been quite successful in taking our businesses to where they are. We can't obviously change all of that in one shot. So the way we looked at it is pick up multiple areas, make sure that these initiatives are short duration initiatives. You are bound to realize once you are done that, okay, I could have done it better or in a different way. And those iterations will keep happening. There are releases, multiple releases, one after another, short releases, but keep moving forward. The beauty of this digital environment is that it gives you that chance to keep multiplying, keep adding on to the work that you have done in the past. And that's where this whole agile models and all those came into picture. But our philosophy was we will leverage the assets that we have. We will actually create a digital layer on top and focus on the experience our stakeholders take. Our stakeholders in this case were obviously shareholders, our own employees, our partners, our customers. So we started looking at these processes and created those platforms which are interacting at the back end with the same legacy platforms, but they are on native mobile platforms, which will give that experience that we desire to give to our customers, to our employees. I just give you one example. Pick up HR as a process. I mentioned it last discussion also. The whole platform which we created helped us to move when this pandemic struck, and we were supposed to move all our employees, 10,000 roughly our employees across the globe, to work from home. It took us maybe a week or so, around a week, to make sure that everything moves and all the employees are connected to the core systems through these digital platforms. And we are able to actually track each and every employee in these tough situations. At a touch of a button, they can actually reach out to the entire organization in terms of that, okay, I need assistance, or this is not working for me. So that's the power of these platforms. And they were just created in multiple releases. I think every platform, Zensar built around 32 platforms, and each platform has gone through so many releases. So it has not been developed over a period of a day or a month or a year. It's just a multiple releases, short releases, and keep on improving upon as you develop.
I see.
So that's where. So I think right from HR to our finance to what we call Zen CIO, which is for our customers to give them the dashboards, to our Zen Sales, which is for the sales organization, to Zen MCM, which is the management committee meetings. Every platform has a different use, and they are at the back end, they're all connected together.
So from what you said, Harish, the idea that I'm getting, or the picture that I'm getting, is that digital transformation, especially for a big company, is an iterative process. Every time there's an improvement, you need to look at it and improve more, right? Digitally. So will there ever be a stop to the digital transformation? You said that Zensar is 100% transformed, but do you continue this mindset of improving and transforming? Or do companies ever just say, okay, enough, no more transformation, we have done it, we have achieved it?
No, definitely. I think technology is evolving faster than anything else in this world today. And while you have done a particular way of transformation, these new technologies, as we are moving forward, we are getting into the whole realm of artificial intelligence, this whole NLP, the whole robotic process automation. They are bringing very different flavors in terms of what can be achieved. The whole 5G that has come into picture has brought many new options in terms of how the AR and VR, how IoT, the devices that we are talking about, how they can do edge computing and can be connected and bring. So every day we realize there are many more new options that are becoming available to us to leverage. So it's a continuous process. I would say I can't say that any company will ever say that, okay, we are done with it. You may have digitized your processes, but there are continuous improvement opportunities that you keep doing in order to become more closer to the customer, in order to become more sort of faster in terms of your velocity and the speed to market that you are looking at. But yeah, that's how I look at it.
We mentioned that Zensar is digitally transformed, and when we started this conversation, you told me that you have a potential customer, a potential client, asking to move all of its information into the cloud. What other challenges do you think that the digital transformation in Zensar's business has helped deal with? For example, any challenges presented by COVID-19 that were dealt with because of this transformation?
Definitely. COVID-19, I personally believe, has accelerated digital transformation much more than what last many years had done. we have fast forward. We have gone fast forward at least 3 to 5 years in terms of the whole transformation businesses were looking at. Obviously, because of the first impact of COVID-19 was when everybody moved their employees to work from home. Now, what we call this work from home has actually transformed the way we look at our talent asset model, and also in terms of how do we ensure that this talent has been given right capabilities and to work from home. So while the remote working or absence of in-person brought some challenges, and we obviously got over it in terms of how to make it work, but productivity, how to ensure productivity is still maintained at high levels. And now it's no longer bring your own device. Actually, we are talking about bring your own environment. And how do we make sure that these environments are integrated into our mainstream environments and they are secure. So cybersecurity has become all the more important. So that has brought in a lot of focus on what we talk about cybersecurity areas in terms of how do we make sure that this model is protected, it's secure, and we give that secure experience to our customer. And I can tell you this model is here to stay. It will never be 100% work from office again. Every company will work out their different models in terms of the percentage of associates to work from home or on rotational basis. But how do we make sure that this is secure? So that's the first big change COVID-19 brought in our mindset. I'm leaving aside the cultural aspects of this. Obviously, those are very important too. Second one for the businesses was obviously people started moving more towards online business models. But we are taking leapfrog not just into online, but it is a merging of online and offline, which is basically on-premise environments. How do we actually give our customers an experience, a seamless experience between these two worlds? I can go online, I can make orders, I can buy online, but I don't like it. I want to go and return it at the shop. Or I have ordered at online, but I want to collect at the shop. There are multiple scenarios, permutation combinations possible. How do we give that level of experience to our customers? And a lot of businesses I see are working on those omni-channel initiatives. And it's not just only in retail, it's in banking too. So that's another big change which we are seeing happening in this country and which has been accelerated because of this whole thing. And the last most important part I would say is, which we see visible, is the whole focus on experience. On the customer journeys and the customer experience that every organization is striving to deliver. And obviously, in order to do that, we need to know the customer better. We need to map out the customer, the hyper personalization that we are talking about, which at the back end is a combination of your understanding of the customer, the data and the analytics that you do, and bring these technologies to give that level of hyper personalization to your customers. So that's another big thing which we see, and a lot of customers are talking to us and running their own initiatives in this space. So these are the ones which are actually happening in the front, which COVID has accelerated. But because of these initiatives, another change which is happening at the back end in terms of how do we make sure that these front end changes are really happening at a speed which market is demanding. We also realize that our organizations at the back end have to be engineered differently. We need to engineer that experience that we intend to deliver to a client. So a lot of efforts are going in terms of the product design, in terms of the agile model of releasing new features in line with the speed of market, what we call velocity, where you need different type of skills now. Now you need full stack developers who understand the entire life cycle of your development. And they work in small teams. People call them pods. Somebody calls them squads, but they work in teams to make sure that they are agile and deliver the features faster. You need to energize your core. The core is still the same, a lot of legacy platforms, but how do we modernize those platforms? How do we leverage the power of cloud that is available today, and not just in taking our applications and assets onto the cloud, but also in terms of how do we leverage the power of cloud in terms of compute, in terms of storage, and not only one cloud, there could be multiple clouds. There could be a cloud as well as on-prem environment. How do you integrate that to bring the agility um, in the system? So the whole change is driving a lot of these changes right till the back end of the organization. And you will see multiple initiatives clients are taking in multiple domains, or I would say multiple layers of their organization. And that's what I see as a true digital transformation, which is happening in our country today.
Customer experience and new features are what's going to be driving the digital transformation forward. I imagine that at some point, most companies will have a certain basis of transformation and of services that they can provide. So what do you think will set apart customer experience for these companies? What are companies doing differently in terms of customer experience that set them apart or that will set them apart?
Sure. So one is basically you see this impact coming from what you call native digital companies. We already see industries after industries being disrupted. Globally, if you say companies like Uber or Airbnb or Amazon itself disrupted the whole model. Here in our country too, when we saw Discovery Bank and when we saw Time Bank, they disrupted these models. So this disruption is bound to happen. And the native digital companies don't have the legacy platforms that other organizations have. And they come with a very different customer experience and mindset itself. Start from there and they straight away move into this new digital technology space. And that is obviously putting a lot of pressure on the rest of the industry to innovate and to bring forward that experience. And what organizations are focusing on today, and that's where we focused earlier in terms of our building of these platforms and where we are assisting our clients today, is how do you understand your customer journey? A customer is coming to your online channels. Customer is going to your bank or your stores, and he is having different experience, or he's just giving a call center. How do you design a customer experience? The journey, how do you map that journey? And then you develop or you engineer that experience backwards in terms of the most seamless that you can think about or the more pleasant experience you can design. And that is a trigger point many times, which is actually taking it to the next level in terms of building systems, building that experience via engineering services. And today, I think a lot of times it is taking these organizations to really modernize the core itself and actually use the power of platforms available today, or low code platforms, low code developments available today, or many times technologies like automation, which is readily available today, to leverage this and deliver those experiences. So it is all the pressure from the market, and obviously our own desire to reach out to our customers and give them the best of experience.
What do you think sets Zensar apart from its contemporaries in terms of this customer experience and in services as a whole?
I think our own experiment with digital transformation, our own initiatives, which made us realize that it's not just engineering, it's the understanding of the experience. That is also very important. So we actually, as I mentioned to you, right in early days, Zensar also invested into many of these experience-driven companies to bring about that capability to us, which we can offer to our clients. So today, when we approach our clients, our solutions are experience-led engineering. It's not just about engineering. We understand the experience you intend to deliver, leveraging this engineering. So why not we work with you right at the experience layer, help you design those experiences, help you deliver those experiences, and with the foundational services that we have, monitor those experiences and actually commit to you in terms of the final experience KPIs that we deliver to you. So it's a complete chain that we actually offer to our clients, which obviously I think is a quite unique differentiator that we bring to the market.
Thank you so much, Harish. I really appreciate the conversation. Very insightful as well. Sure. Is there anything you would just like to add before we call it a day?
I think nothing much in a sense, but I feel quite positive. I'm sure you are also experiencing that South Africa has maybe initial few years we saw the transformation was happening and the pace was a little slow. But I think it has picked up quite a lot in last 1 year, given the economic situations where we are. Obviously, every organization is looking at how do we extract or how do we bring about the funds which are required to do this transformation. So yeah, so we are experiencing that every organization is looking at smarter ways of managing their cost in their legacy estate and extract efficiencies from there and invest those efficiencies and savings into the transformation. So I see a very good positive movement happening across industries. It's not just about banking or insurance or retail or mining. It's happening across industries. And the pace has accelerated quite a lot in last year or so, which is very heartening to see. So I'm quite positive that we are moving quite nicely on this path.